Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how to find out who your future person that you were meant to have a significant long-term relationship with is, right? Somebody that you were possibly even meant to marry. I'm going to show you how to find out who that person is today in this video using numerology. And we can use numerology to do this because basically what it is it's the blueprint that your soul came up with before you were born, right? It's kind of the outline of your life, right? The details, all of the details within what happens within your life, that's basically your free will, but the numbers that you see in a chart, that's basically the outline, the significant part of your life that you had already planned out before you were born. Whenever you have a significant relationship with someone, that was a contract that was agreed upon between you and the soul of that other person before you were born. And so all significant relationships are not a coincidence. That's right, they do not happen by coincidence. These are contracts that you signed with another soul before you were born. So we can use the blueprint of your chart to figure out exactly who your soul basically intended for you to marry and who you signed up to be with, right? We can determine a lot of these things by looking at your chart. I'm going to show you how to do that today in this video. So there's only a few key numbers that we're going to be looking at, and I'm going to show you right now exactly how to calculate those numbers. It only takes a few minutes. It's very easy. Now, if you already know what your numerology numbers are and you already know your numerological chart, then you can go ahead and skip to the rest of the video. I'll put the timestamp for that right here, and I'm also going to put the timestamp in the description box below as well. I'm just going to really quickly show you how to calculate 3 numbers in your chart. If you need a more slower, detailed explanation, you can check out videos that I've done on how to calculate these. I'll put links to them below in the description box. To calculate your life path number, you're going to take the month of your birthday and add the numbers together until you get a single digit. Take the day of your birthday and keep adding the numbers together until you get a single digit. And take the year of your birth date and add the numbers together and keep adding them together until you get a single digit. And then you're going to take those 3 numbers that you got and add them together and keep adding them together until you get a single digit. And that's going to be your life path number. Now, if you get an 11, 22, or 33, you do not add the 2 numbers together because they are master numbers and you do not reduce them. To calculate your expression destiny number, you're going to take the first, middle, and last name that was written on your birth certificate at the time of your birth, or whatever name was written on your birth certificate, because some people don't have middle names, and you're going to find all of the corresponding numbers to all of the letters within your full entire name. Then you're going to take all of the numbers that you got for your first name and add them all together and keep adding them together until you get a single digit. Then you're going to take all of the numbers that you got for your middle name and keep adding them together until you get a single digit. In this example here, Jane Austen does not have a middle name, so we wouldn't do that if you don't have a middle name, but if you do, add all those numbers together and keep adding them together until you get a single digit. And then for your last name, take all of the numbers, keep adding them together, and keep adding them together until you get a single digit. Then you're going to take the 3 numbers you got for your first, middle, and last name and add those numbers together and keep adding the numbers together until you get a single digit. Unless you get an 11, 22, or 33, those are master numbers and you do not reduce them. And to calculate your soul urge number, you're going to use the Pythagorean number system again, and this time you're only going to find the corresponding numbers to only the vowels within the first, middle, and last name that was written on your birth certificate at the time of your birth. And most of the time I consider Y to be a vowel because it usually sounds like a vowel. So take all of the numbers for the vowels you got for your first name and add them together until you get a single digit. Then take all of the numbers you got for the vowels in your middle name and add them together until you get a single digit. And take all the vowels that you got for your last name and add them together until you get a single digit. Then you're going to take those 3 final numbers and add them together. Keep adding them together until you get a single digit. Unless you get an 11, 22, or 33, those are master numbers and you don't reduce them. So now I'm going to show you where to look for these numbers within somebody else's chart. Okay, so if there is a specific person that you have in mind and you want to know if you will get married to this person, this section is going to be very important for you because it shows you how to figure that out. But if you don't have a specific person in mind and you just want to know what type of person you signed up to marry or to have a significant relationship with before you were born, keep watching because after this part, I'm going to show you exactly what type of person that is. And if you want to skip to that section, the timestamp will be below in the description box. So here we have some examples of some famous couples, right? People that have gotten married that are very famous in the world, right? So please do not get triggered if there is somebody here that you do not like. Don't get triggered. I am just using these people as an example to show you where to look for these numbers within somebody else's chart, right? To help you out and to show you how accurate this is as well. So the 3 numbers we're going to be looking at are your life path, destiny, and soul urge number. So if you signed a contract with somebody before you were born to get married to that person, most of the time, your life path, destiny, or soul urge, one of those 3 numbers will appear within the core 6 numbers of that other person's chart. Okay? So if you see your life path, destiny, or soul urge number appearing anywhere within the 6 numbers of that other person's core chart, which would be as their life path number, destiny, soul urge, birthday, maturity, or inner dreams numbers, then that can be an indication that this is somebody that you signed a contract with to get married to before you were born. And it doesn't have to be in any particular order too. So your 3 numbers could appear anywhere within the 6 core numbers of their chart. But I've noticed that a lot of times it will actually appear as their life path, destiny, or soul urge number in no particular order. That's common, but it could appear as any of the 6 numbers within their core chart in no particular order. And I do want to say that this is not going to be the case for all married couples, okay? There are some couples that you will not see any numbers that are the same within their chart. Most of the time they do, right? Most of the time, if you have a contract with that person, those numbers will show up in their chart. But it's not always the case. So keep that in mind, right? But you might be asking why these particular numbers. Well, the reason is because the destiny number is kind of like a long-term goal that you have for yourself. It's something that you're working towards, and it's usually the direction that you're headed in. And if you signed a contract with someone, it makes sense that you might be drawn to them because they have a similar frequency to the direction that you're headed towards. Your life path number is your main purpose in life, and it's the main lesson that you're working on while you're down here. And so if you signed a contract with someone, it makes sense that you would be drawn to them because they have a similar energy to your purpose, right? Or your soul urge number is your soul's calling, and it's like your heart's desire. And it makes sense that if you signed a contract with someone, you might be drawn to them if they have a similar energy and frequency to your heart's desire. But now let's take a look at these examples to show you exactly what I'm talking about and how accurate this is. So Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, one of those couples that everyone is just always wondering how on earth did they end up together, right? One of the great mysteries of the 21st century. How on earth did these two end up together? And so Bill Clinton's destiny number is a 3, right? That's the direction he's headed towards. And the life path number is kind of who you are at your core. It's like your main purpose. So that's who you are at your core. And at her core, Hillary Clinton is a 3 because that's her life path number. So in essence, she is his destiny, right? Because his destiny is a 3. So she is his destiny, and that is how they ended up together. And they also have the same soul urge, so the same soul's calling in life. King Charles III and Camilla Parker Bowles, another couple that everyone is just like, how on earth did this happen? Like, why on earth would he leave Princess Diana for her, right? I mean, no offense to her, but everyone has always just been like perplexed by this, right? It was one of the great mysteries of the 20th century, right? So if you take a look here, same thing, right? King Charles's destiny is a number 9, and in essence, she is his destiny, right? Because her life path number is a 9, and that's who she is at her core. So she was his destiny, basically. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, they both have the same destiny number, right? Both have a destiny number 9. And so they're both headed in the same direction, right? With that destiny number 9. Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, take a look. His soul's calling and his heart's desire is her, right? Because his soul's urge is an 11 and her life path number is an 11, master 11. So that's who she is at her core. So at her core, she is his heart's desire, basically. So yeah, huge indication of signing a contract to get married before they were born because of this. So some of you might be wondering, if the more numbers somebody has of your 3 numbers in their chart, does that increase the chances of you getting married to them? And I would say yes. If that person has more than one of those 3 numbers of yours, right, or all of them, then somewhere in their chart, anywhere in their chart, right, because this is in no particular order, then yeah, that could be even more of an indication that you will get married to this person for sure. So now we're moving on from talking about specific people that you might have in mind to just speaking in general about the type of person that you signed up to marry before you were born. So go ahead and check the description box below, because I'm going to put the timestamps for the life path, soul urge, and destiny numbers below in the description box so that you do not have to watch the whole entire video and you can just skip to your numbers. And I'm also going to put a link below to my video on how to find out if somebody is compatible for you based on their numbers. So I'll put a link to that video below in the description box as well. So if your destiny, life path, or soul urge number is a number 1, then you could have signed a contract to get married to somebody on the positive side of this number who is very confident, who is very independent, and can take care of themselves, somebody who will be able to stand up for you if you need somebody to stand up for you, somebody who takes the initiative, someone who likes to start things, and somebody who, kind of is like a trailblazer, basically. Somebody who is not afraid to kind of think outside of the box, somebody who is not afraid to go against the grain, and somebody who is not afraid to take risks. This could be somebody who's very influential and influences a lot of people, like an influencer. It could also be somebody who's very successful, and or even somebody in the spotlight, right? Somebody that's well known to a lot of people. And it could be somebody rebellious too. There's definitely a rebel streak within this person. They'll probably be spontaneous or outgoing, and they will most likely either work for themselves or be in some sort of authority or authoritative position at work, whatever that is for them. Now, this person could be all of these things already, or this could be their destiny, right? In the direction that they're headed towards. Now, this person's astrology could be a sun, rising, or moon, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So any of the fire signs, basically. So if your life path, destiny, or soul urge is a number 2, then you could have signed a contract with somebody who is either all of these qualities or is headed in the direction of becoming like this, right? They're headed in this direction and this is their destiny. So they're either like this already or this is their destiny. And that's going to be somebody who's highly sensitive, very, very emotional and loving. Can be somebody who has a big heart, really caring, very gentle, warm, somebody who wants commitment, and somebody who likes to have peace and harmony, right? This is going to be somebody who, if they like you, then they like you, and they're not usually going to be like a game player type of person. They're usually pretty committed and loyal. But they can be sensitive, and they're going to need support. They're going to need reassurance, and they might not be the most confident person, okay? So they could have any of the qualities on the positive or the negative side of this number, or they could be headed in that direction, right? Or this could be their destiny. Now, in terms of astrology, they could have a sun, rising, or moon that is a Taurus, or a water sign such as a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So if your destiny, life path, or soul urge is a 3, then you could end up with someone who has these qualities, right? This is who they kind of are, or they have a destiny in which they are headed in this direction. And on the positive side of this number, this could be somebody who has a high need for self-expression. Somebody who is either good at expressing themselves orally, so they have good communication skills, or they have a good way of expressing themselves artistically, right? So they could have a lot of artistic talent and be good at, like writing, music, art, and that kind of thing. This could be somebody who is very fun to be around, somebody who brings a lot of joy and laughter to a situation and makes a serious situation seem a lot more lighthearted than it actually is, right? So this is somebody who can really just break the tension and make things seem better and bring happiness and joy and cheer when it's needed. So this could be somebody who's very positive on the positive side of this number. They'll probably be more introverted if they're on the creative side of this number, and they'll probably be more extroverted and outgoing if they're on the more social, communicative part of this number. So it depends on what end of the spectrum of self-expression for this number that they fall on. But either way, they're going to have a big need for you to listen to them and to be able to express themselves when they're with you. Now, on the negative end of this number, this person could be a little scattered, right? Now, like I said, this could be the qualities of this person, or they're headed in a direction and a destiny that represents this energy. Now, in terms of astrology, for their sun, rising, and moon, they could either be a Gemini, right? A Gemini or another air sign, such as an Aquarius or a Libra. If your destiny, life path, or soul urge number is a 4, then you could have signed a contract to get married to somebody who has these qualities, or they're headed in the direction of this energy, right? This is their destiny. So, and this is somebody who is going to be very loyal and trustworthy, somebody who is honest, right? Somebody who, like I said, honest, but sometimes they can be a little too honest, right? So, so they might be a little blunt. This is going to be somebody who wants a commitment and will take the relationship seriously from the beginning. Okay, so they're not going to play games. This could be somebody who's very hardworking, and work is very important to them. So big focus on work for them, and it could be somebody who is humble, down to earth, very practical, and also very organized. And so they're going to look for those qualities within you as well. Now, like I said, this could be the way the person is, or this is kind of like their destiny and their direction that their life is headed towards, right? And so in terms of astrology, they could have a sun, rising, or moon that is in Cancer, or it could be one of the earth signs, such as Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. If your destiny, life path, or soul urge number is a 5, then you could have signed a contract to marry somebody who has these qualities, or this is their destiny and the direction that they're headed in, right? So this could be somebody who is very fun to be around, right? Somebody who's very friendly and they could be more outgoing, on the more outgoing side, or they could just be somebody who's very romantic, somebody who kind of sweeps you off your feet, right? And going to be somebody with a lot of charisma and somebody who's exciting to be around. And so they're probably going to be adventurous. And so get ready to, to pack your bags and to be spontaneous. Like they might want to go on adventures and travel and stuff. And you're just going to have to, be spontaneous and be down for that kind of thing, because that's usually what they're going to look for, right? And so that is the positive side of this number, right? So on the negative side of this number, this person might be somebody who is a little bit inconsistent, right, at times. So they just have a high need for freedom and excitement and stimulation, basically. These could be the qualities that they have, or it could be that this is the direction and that they're headed towards. This is their destiny, right? So in terms of astrology, this person's sun, moon, or rising could either be a Leo, or it could be an Aquarius, or another fire sign such as a Sagittarius or an Aries. So if your destiny, life path, or soul urge number is a 6, then you could have signed a contract to marry somebody who has all of these qualities, or they are headed in this direction, right? This is their destiny. So it could be either one of these. And so this is going to be on the positive side of this number. This is going to be somebody who is very loving, right? Love, family, marriage, commitment. Those are going to be things that are very important to them. So they are looking to find love and relationship for the long term, right? And so this is somebody who usually will want children, and that's going to be important to them. Family, community is going to be important to them. And this is going to be somebody who is either very nurturing and loving, right? Or it's going to be somebody who's very protective, right? Like that bodyguard type of energy. So it could go either way, right? So the feminine energy of the 6 is somebody who's very nurturing and caring, but the more masculine energy of the number 6 is the protector, the bodyguard energy. So it could go either way with this person. This is somebody who will probably idolize you, okay? So they will put you on a pedestal. They will see you as being this perfect person, and, they will just dream about you, right? They will have a lot of dreams about you for sure with this kind of energy. But they're going to have a big heart. They're going to be very helpful and stable. And they might be in some sort of healing profession, such as a doctor, nurse, or like a non-traditional type of healer, right? Or somebody involved in the community, or it could be somebody that works for themselves, has their own business. Or they could have a legal type of profession, which is involving the law, or their profession could just be something where they are kind of the one that is highly in control, right? They're the one kind of guiding and helping other people in their profession, basically. Now, that's the positive side of this number. On the negative side of this number, this person might be a little bit of a perfectionist, and they might be a little controlling. So just keep that in mind, okay? So in terms of astrology, this person's sun, moon, or rising could be either a Virgo, a Libra, or a Taurus. So if your destiny, soul urge, or life path is a 7, then you could have signed a contract to get married to somebody who has all of these qualities or is headed in this direction, right? Their destiny is going to be similar to this energy that I'm presenting to you. So it could be either of those. Now, on the positive side of this number, this could be somebody who's very sharp, right? Very intelligent. And usually they'll have like an intellectual type of profession, right? Anything that involves the mind. They might be somebody who has a lot of degrees, academic degrees, or has a higher education. But they're going to be sharp and very observing things other people don't see. And they could also be very spiritual too, have a lot of spiritual talents and spiritual gifts. But they will probably be more on the introverted side of this number. Or like I said, they could be headed more in that direction if they don't have these qualities. But they're going to be somebody who's really good at listening to you, right? So they're going to be the person that just, you can vent to this person, you can sit there and talk to them, and they'll just be able to listen to you, and you can vent to them and give you really good feedback. So they're going to be the listener, and they're definitely going to be somebody who gives good advice too, and has a lot of wisdom to them. And like I said, an intellectual profession is usually the trade for them, or it could be some sort of spiritually based profession. So that's the positive side of this number. On the negative side of this number, sometimes they can be a little aloof, okay, a little distant, and a little critical. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, in terms of astrology, their sun, rising, or moon will probably be an air sign, such as a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Okay, think King and Queen of Swords energy. Or it could also be a Pisces too, because 7 is ruled by Neptune. So if your destiny, soul urge, or life path number is an 8, then you could have signed a contract to get married to somebody who has all of these qualities, or this is the energy of the direction that they're headed towards, right? It could also be their destiny as well. And so basically, on the positive side of this number, this is going to be somebody who is very well off, right? This is going to be somebody who is good with money and usually has a lot of resources. So they could be in a profession in which they have a high status and they make a lot of money, or they're dealing with resources and finances, that kind of thing. Or they could be in a profession in which they have a lot of power and authority. Okay, but this is going to be somebody who is very influential or has a lot of influence over other people. Somebody who's really good at managing things and is very organized. They might be meticulous, right? They might have that energy of wanting things to always look good and appear well off to the world. This might be somebody who's working on balancing the physical and the spiritual worlds together, right? Balancing those two. So you might be surprised that they might be into all of those things, right? Materialistic type things is what it might seem like, but they also might be spiritual too, more on the spiritual side as well, because they're working on balancing those two things. So yes, this is going to be somebody who's more ambitious, more goal and achievement focused, but this is also going to be somebody who's very giving and generous and will probably try to take care of you in many ways, right? So that's the positive side of this number. On the negative side of this number, sometimes these people can be a little materialistic if they haven't gotten to the stage of balancing physical and spiritual yet. And sometimes they can be perfectionistic, or sometimes they can struggle with money, right? So not always, but sometimes. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, in terms of astrology, this person's sun, rising, or moon could very well be a Capricorn. Okay, so this is very Capricornian energy. 8 is ruled by Saturn. Or it could be a Scorpio, right? Because of the issues with power. Or it could be another earth sign such as a Taurus or a Virgo. So if your destiny, life path, or soul urge number is a 9, then you could have signed a contract to get married to somebody who either has all of these qualities or they are headed in the direction of the energy of this number, okay? The energy of this number is their destiny. So it could go either way. On the positive side of this number, this could be somebody who is very highly evolved, right? Somebody who has a lot of wisdom, somebody who's experienced a lot of things and has a lot of wisdom to give because of this. And really has everything put together pretty well, right? They're responsible, they care about family, they're focused on career, they have good relationships. So it seems like everything is pretty put together for them, right? And they're usually pretty highly responsible people, right? So this is somebody who will definitely be focused on marriage and having family. That's going to be big for them and it's going to be important for them. It'll probably be somebody who really has a concern for their family, right? Like they're either very close to them or they might have issues with their family. So family is going to be important to them. It could be somebody who really cares about the greater issues, right? And the bigger picture of things. So somebody who is very focused on helping the world in some sort of way. So they could be like a person who is a philanthropist, a humanitarian. It could also be somebody who is highly creative, right? Somebody who has a lot of musical skills. And it could be a very spiritual person too. And somebody who, has gone through a lot of things and has become very wise and has a very heightened spiritual connection because of it. For professions, it's going to be something with a lot of responsibility, okay? These people take a lot of responsibility onto their plate. They often feel the weight of the world on their shoulders. And like I said, even if they don't have these qualities, if this is their destiny, they're headed in this direction, right? So profession, it's going to be something with heavy responsibility, where it's like people's lives are on the line, or it's some sort of really highly responsible sort of position that they're in. So yes, it's usually somebody who has a lot of responsibility on their plate, but at the same time, these people are playful and fun. They can be very charismatic and fun to be around too. So that's the positive side of this number. On the negative side of this number, this is going to be a highly sensitive person who's very emotional, and their feelings could get hurt very easily. So you have to be very careful of that with this person. In terms of astrology, this person's sun, moon, or rising could be a Sagittarius, or it could be an Aries, because 9 is ruled by Mars, or it could be the other fire sign, which is a Leo, right? So any of those fire signs. And sometimes a Pisces, right? Water sign Pisces too. So if your destiny, soul urge, or life path number is a master number 11, then you could have signed a contract to get married to somebody who has all of these qualities, or they are headed in the direction of the energy of this number, right? This number could be their destiny as well. So it could go either way. Now, on the positive side of this number, this could be somebody who has a lot of the energy of the number 1, right? Which is the person who is with the good leadership skills and is highly ambitious and very self-sufficient and working on becoming successful and becoming like the best that they can be, right? Or it could be somebody who has a lot of the 2 energy, right? Because if you add the 2 ones together, you get a 2, and that's somebody who is very kind and considerate and cares about relationships and commitment, like commitment and being in partnership is very important to that person. And also, somebody who's very sensitive to other people, highly intuitive, right? All of the qualities that are represented by the 2. So this person could have both masculine and feminine energy within them, where they're somebody who is very alpha type energy. They're highly ambitious, self-sufficient, independent, but at the same time, very kind, considerate, and caring, and really wants to be with a partner and get married, right? Start a family. So it could be both of those things. And this could be somebody who's influential and influences a lot of people, or it could be somebody who's very spiritual and has really developed their spiritual connection, right? Now, in terms of career, this will be usually somebody who's in a position of authority, right? Either in a position of power, authority, or they have authority over themselves, like they're working for themselves. Or it could be somebody who is in a spiritually based profession, but they're usually in some sort of profession in which they are guiding other people. That's very common. And as I said before, if they don't have these qualities now, this could be their destiny and the direction that they are headed towards in the future. Now, in terms of astrology, their sun, moon, or rising could definitely be an Aquarius, because 11 is very Aquarian energy. So they could definitely be an Aquarius, or sun, moon, and rising could also be a Leo, right? Because of the 1, it's ruled by the sun. Or it could be Cancer as well, because 2 is ruled by the moon. So if your destiny, soul urge, or life path number is a master 22, then you could have signed a contract to get married to somebody who has all of these qualities already, or this is their destiny, right? This energy of this number is their destiny and the direction that they're headed towards. So it could go either way. Person will have qualities of the number 2 because of the double 2s, as well as qualities of the number 4. right? Because if you add the twos together, you get a 4. So on the positive side of those numbers, it's going to be somebody with a big heart, right? Somebody who really cares and has a lot of love and concern in their heart. And somebody who will be very loyal to you, right? If they are giving you their time, it's because they are taking you seriously. They see you as, somebody that is their future, basically. So commitments, relationships are important to them. They take it seriously. Marriage and family will definitely be something on their mind. They will be loyal. They will be respectful. They will be down to earth. They will be honest. And they'll be reliable, right? And they're going to be very hardworking people. So on the negative side of this number, sometimes they might be a little overly sensitive, okay, or controlling. In terms of their career, this could be anything because these are very hardworking people, right? So they're willing to do the jobs that require a lot of work and effort. Now, in terms of astrology, this person's sun, moon, or rising sign could be an earth sign such as a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. It could also be a Cancer as well. So if your destiny, soul urge, or life path number is a master number 33, then you could have signed a contract to marry somebody who has all of these qualities already or is headed in the direction of this energy, right? This is their destiny. So on the positive side of this number, it's somebody who embodies the qualities of the number 3, which is the highly creative, self-expressive person who has a need to express themselves, either creatively or orally. And they also will embody the energy of the 6, which is the healer, the person who's very helpful, loving, caring, cares, likes to be in relationships, likes to have love in their life, and can be very romantic and very idealistic, right? There's a lot of idealism here. So, and this is going to be somebody who's a lot of fun to be around, right? They can be very playful and fun, childlike almost because of that 3 energy, but they're also going to have a responsible energy to them too, right? Where they're a little bit of both. There's a lot of duality within them, right? Where they've got that inner child within them, but they're also responsible adults too. So this person is going to want relationships, they're going to want commitment and marriage and that kind of thing, but they also will need to have it fun, to keep the relationship fun and alive. That's going to be very important for them. And this person might be very idealistic, right? Where when they like something, they put it on a pedestal and they idealize it and they dream about it, right? So in terms of profession, this could be somebody who's doing something that's either highly creative or it could be highly healing, right? Because of the 3 and the 6 energy, or it could be both, right? It could be both. Now, if they don't already have these qualities, this could be something that the direction in which they're headed towards, where they're going next, right? Or the energy that's up in the future for them. So that's going to be the positive side of this number. On the negative side of this number, we have somebody who might be a little scattered, okay, because of the double 3s. Not the most organized person. Or it could be somebody who's very perfectionistic, right? And has really high standards too. So now in terms of astrology, this person's sun, moon, or rising sign could either be a Libra, okay? Could be a Libra, could also be a Virgo, or it could be a Gemini as well. But let me know in the comments below if this is the type of person that you see yourself marrying someday, right? Is this the type of person that you want to spend the rest of your life with? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. It really helps to get this information out there when you do that, and these videos are a monster for me to put together. So, and if you want to book a reading with me, you can head on over to my website, starsalignwithcarmen.com. I would love to have you subscribe and become part of the family. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.